Hi, I have been asked if I would do a little video on my love of baking. Baking is something that brings me great joy. I love to spend time in my kitchen, and I like to bake, cookies, that kind of thing, but what I really love to do, the thing that brings me the most joy, is to bake creations for celebrations. I am not by nature a creative person at all. If there's an art project involved or some other thing, I'm usually like, I'm out, it's not my thing. But when it comes to baking, that's the one area that I feel that God has given me a special interest to enjoy. It's food art. It's things that I can have a great time with. And what I really like to do, or what I do with it, is I like to celebrate people and the uniqueness of each individual person. In Jeremiah 31, verse 4, the verse says, "The Lord appears to us saying, I have loved you with an everlasting love. I have drawn you with unfailing kindness." And for me, I'm not a shopper. I'm not really a great gift giver, but I love to give the gift of my time and my creativity with food when it comes to celebrating other people. So it's how I share love, as that verse said, and try to be kind to people and celebrate the uniqueness of each person. Baptism is a celebration. I have many celebrations that I have made creations for, and some of them, birthdays especially, sports teams, senior nights, graduations, funerals, retirements, other holidays, anniversaries, baby showers, the list goes on. Celebrations are a gift that God has given to us to have joy and to experience joy with each other. So baking is a joy that I have of being able to share that with others and to celebrate either unique individual people or groups of people at a time. So I'd like to share some of those creations with you from pictures that I have on my computer. Here are some pictures of some of the creations that I have made over the years. These have brought me great joy. I have had so much fun planning them and being able to delight in the celebration of the unique individuals that I have prepared the cake for. So this was a picture of Nick's baseball team from several years ago. It was our end of season celebration. The boys loved seeing the pictures of themselves on the cake, and it helped remind them they are part of a team. They count. Everything they do matters, and they are uniquely created. Sadly, over here, this coach on the right, whose head is cut off, happens to be John. This was a picture of Greg and Allie Melkart's 40th birthday cake. If you know Allie, she loves hiking in the mountains, and Greg loves fishing. So I had a blast finding and planning out this cake and making it unique to their interests. This was a picture of my mother-in-law's 70th birthday celebration. She loves all things ladybug, and ladybugs to her are also a very special sign of her own mother. So it was a great way to remember her and to celebrate her 70th. This was a picture of Marvelous McKenna's 13th birthday cake. We had a movie theater, PG-13 movie theater. This was a picture of Nick's 13th birthday cake. Boys were a little harder. As they get older, they don't like the cutesy stuff as much, so I needed to find something that would tailor to a teenage boy. And so all of the apps are made with things that are unique to him, things that he loves, things that he is involved in, and I also incorporated the date he was born and the time that he was born. This was a celebration we did last year at Fireside. This was not a cake, as you can see, but cookie cups, and we were celebrating the retirement of a very faithful employee of 30 years, and also celebrating Valentine's Day and a birthday at the same time, right in the middle of the warehouse. This was one I did last year. This is a funeral. My best friend's mother passed away, and she was Irish through and through. Loved St. Patrick's Day. Everything was about St. Patrick's Day. So her funeral was in September 2020, and we made it a St. Patrick's Day celebration of her and her uniqueness and her just wonderful, wonderful life. This was a picture of an engagement cake that I did for my cousins. They were getting married in Florida. This was one of Maya's Gotcha Day cakes. Gotcha Day is the day that we celebrate getting her from China, and she is a swimmer, and she was swimming for Rogers at the time, so we gave her, or I made her a cake of an actual swimming pool. This was my grandmother's 97th birthday cake, And so I decided what she, of course, celebrates and loves most of all is her family. So it is a family tree, and each leaf has the name of somebody in our family. This was Nathan's birthday cake a year or two ago because, like I said, I have to tailor. Even though I love to be creative and do cutesy things, that is not him. He wanted cookies and cream, and that was it. So there's cookies and cream cake. But I did win on his senior night cake. He had no choice. So we celebrated the Rogers Golf senior night last year with all of the 3 seniors on a golf course. And again, John, same thing. He loves Reese's Pieces and Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. So nothing cutesy about that, but we made a cake that would be fitting for him. This was Maya on the first birthday she was with us and her baptism day. Her baptismal birthday and her birthday are the same, and we were also celebrating Mother's Day. So we had a little teapot cake with little teacups. And this is a baby shower cake that I did. Because, well, babies are the most special thing there are, and so who doesn't love a good baby shower? This I had to throw in here because it's a very funny story. I made this. I was so excited to make it a Puyallup Fair, in case you can't tell what it is. Definitely, I'm a raw baker. I am not a professional baker. And so my family, we were celebrating decade birthdays, and I was turning 40, and my grandmother was turning 90, and we had others in between. And so I made this Puyallup Fair cake without thinking this through of how I was going to transport it down to Kent. And not only that, it was a 100-degree day. So by the time I got to Kent, the whole thing, all the frosting had slid off. It was in a massive, messy pile all over the place, and the cake was falling apart. And I just thought, that is such an example of life. You know, God gives us this life, and it is messy at times. But you know what? You pick up the pieces, and you move on, and you deal with it. And this is my last one, but this is a picture of Mr. Randy's 50th birthday cake. You know Mr. Randy, he is a wrangler and he loves the rodeo. So we did a surprise rodeo cake for him for his 50th birthday. So those are some examples of the things that I have had great joy in sharing and making for others to celebrate each person's individualness, and my way of sharing gifts, since that's just what I love to do.
Everyone has a story to tell. This year for Lent, we are doing a journey project, asking the congregation to tell your baptismal story. So join us in getting creative as we recall our identities as children of God. You're invited to pick a creative medium. Could be photography, woodworking, painting, writing, drawing, crocheting, Lego, knitting, music. The options are endless. Over the 5 weeks of Lent, we encourage you to create something that helps you to understand your identity as you live out your faith in this world. To help you along this journey, we have weekly videos on our social media and the church website exploring stories of art and faith with members of our congregation. You can bring your projects to church over Holy Week for our Easter Sunday art show. We hope that you'll join us, and we look forward to all of your art and all of your creative stories.